Howdy, Twitch. Happy Election Day, if you're an American. Have some more with Destiny tonight. Before we do that, though, let's check in on what's going on with the election. We'll just chat for a few. See how that works. All right. All right, so it looks like right now, let's see what people are saying for our election map. Okay. It's more helpful if it was on the other side of the screen, huh? There. And let's just get rid of Discord. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like Joe Biden seems to be winning. Oh man, look at that. Popular vote. 1.2% differential. Okay. 223 to 174. Pennsylvania still hasn't been called. Although it looks like it's way in Trump's favor. Wow. I was reading so one of the things I heard is that apparently a lot of states don't count the mail-in votes until later. And Pennsylvania is one of those states. And the speculation is that because Trump poo-pooed mail-in votes, that mail-in votes will predominantly favor Joe. Interesting stuff. Actually, Pennsylvania closer than Texas right now. Let's see, Nevada, 6 votes. Texas, so does this count just confirmed? I think it counts everything, right? You need 270 to win. I don't know. I don't know much about this shit, but my buddy sent me an article and I'm going to read it. Try something a little bit different for the stream. Hopefully it's not too extreme. This is an article by John C. Dvorak. Hopefully this is readable. Anyway, I'm going to read it out loud. So John C. Dvorak, for those who don't know, is a longtime tech columnist. And old school, like he was on the original Tech TV, doing a bunch of those kind of early consumer-focused electronic kind of popular programming. He's been half of the No Agenda show with Adam Curry for years and years and years. And he's got some ideas. So as a professional columnist, I'm assuming this is going to be interesting to read. And identity politics is certainly something that's interesting in our times. Let's have a read through and see what he has to say. A buddy of mine wants my opinion on this, so I'm using the stream as an excuse to read it and generate an opinion. Okay. Understanding Identity Politics by John C. Dvorak. The Democratic Party, someplace and some time ago, found this non-issue. Okay, so this is... Okay, immediately. All right, sorry. It went in a little harder than I expected. The Democratic Party, someplace and some time ago, found this non-issue of oppression within American society and decided to bank on it to create a voting bloc of the oppressed. In their mind's view, the idea was that everyone, if identified as a subgroup, could be convinced that there was a small group of oppressors oppressing them. This resulted in identity politics, a term often used but not understood. This seems very oversimplified at first blush, but it is the first sentence, so let's give it some time. Jordan Peterson was one of the first to explain its roots. Here's an excerpt from his entry in Wikipedia. Peterson states that postmodern philosophers and sociologists since the 1960s have built upon and extended certain core tenets of Marxism and communism, while simultaneously appearing to disavow both ideologies. He says that it is difficult to understand contemporary Western society without considering the influence of a strain of postmodernism thought that migrated from France to the United States through the United English department at Yale University. It's very specific. He states that certain academics in the humanities started to play a sleight of hand, that instead of putting the proletariat, the working class, against the bourgeois, they started to pit the oppressed against the oppressor. This opened up an avenue to identifying any number of groups as oppressed and oppressor, and to continue the same narrative under a different name. A lot of very summary statements going on here. I mean, but nothing that I think most of us don't see in American society in 2020, plain as day. Let's continue. Peterson spotted the roots of this situation, which he broadly refers to as an element of cultural Marxism. Now, I don't even know what Marxism is, so I'm totally not qualified to have an opinion on this. I know it has to do with socialism, though, which is all about the peeps. The Democrats have made hay to some extent by identifying a lot of these oppressed groups, and in most cases informed them that they were all oppressed. This happened with orchestrated publicity stunts. A good example was the transsexual toilet laws controversy. This pointed out oppression and caught a lot of people flat-footed to and embarrassed by their lack of compassion. There seems like a lot of like assigning intention after the fact. I don't know. Reality is usually not so straightforward. You don't usually have people who are orchestrating things from a high level and saying, yes, we want to achieve this impact. We must orchestrate a publicity stunt to create identity politics. But then again, maybe I'm just naive. The political correctness, which became a methodology of free speech control, has mutated into an instrument of thought control adopted and accepted by many Americans and everyone in the Democratic Party. You say or do something outside the prescribed limitations, and you lose your job, your career, your livelihood. The set of rules that make up the politically correct infrastructure have turned organic, taking on a life of their own with new rules cropping up all the time. The most onerous are the considerations for hate speech, which is protected speech under the First Amendment, but prohibited by the god of political correctness. This is the case despite the fact that hate speech is ill-defined, like most politically correct anything, and not applicable. In essence, hate speech can always apply to the oppressed and never the oppressors. My cat wants out. Hang on. For example, you can hate whitey and hate men because they're always identified as oppressors, born to a supposed genetic royalty, and thus given white privilege, even though there's no such thing as white privilege. A lot of just summary, like, judgments. Okay, so let's try to hear the kernel of truth that John's trying to communicate here. This idea was mocked by Eddie Murphy when he put on a whiteface in one of his SNL skits and found that by being white, everything was free. In fact, white privilege is the necessary element, although an artificial construct needed to make identity politics work. If you're going to define groups of oppressed, you need convenient oppressors. Why not a single homogenous group? And the group cannot contain any of the supposed oppressed, such as gay white men or women, so they have to be further segmented to straight males. But you need a code for this that is new and postmodern, so now we use the awkward term cisgender white male. They are the oppressors of everyone, and hating them is okay and encouraged. How this nonsense is supposed to translate into votes for Democrats is sketchy, to say the least. In fact, the opportunity may backfire for two reasons. First, it's insulting to white people in general, men and women, straight or gay, who make up about 70% of the voting population, and it has the potential to annoy most of the supposed oppressed who do not see things this way and find it insulting to be defined as inferior and oppressed losers, the poor things who need all this help. In order to be offended by it, they have to perceive it, though. The backlash potential is huge. This whole direction, stemming from actual Marxist ideology, may be the biggest mistake ever made by the Democrats, and there seems to be nobody in the party equipped to deal with it because standing against any of it would in itself not be politically correct. The media, which represents Democratic Party supporters, has played along like Marxist-branded useful idiots and forced the political correctness mechanism into the public sphere as a good thing when it is not. The so-called mainstream media is probably the most responsible for the mess, just as they are responsible for getting Trump elected by overcovering his campaign, hoping to mock him. All these trends will continue through every election. If there's even a hint that the strategy is working in any circumstance, the situation will worsen. There's no alternative strategy on the horizon, and no agenda show. All right, before we look at the comments, let's have some initial thoughts. So I've listened to a bit of Jordan Peterson's thoughts on postmodernist thought and the idea of having oppressor and oppressed classes. I think that although this is a phenomenon that certainly has emerged, I think ascribing intent here is much more difficult and complex than Dvorak here is presenting. My perception is that, as he called out here in the Wikipedia quote about Peterson, that this idea of moving from a socioeconomic class distinctions to oppressor class distinctions came through academia and universities, especially in the U.S. I don't know that for sure, obviously. I'm in no position to say whether it has or not, but I've seen a lot of people saying that. And I know that specifically Peterson was, well, maybe I don't know that. I won't say that specifically. So yeah, I guess, the idea that the Democratic Party is wielding identity politics does not necessarily mean that identity politics was a weapon they developed, right? You use the weapons at your disposal. Both parties do this. Although it is certainly, like, I think that just generally speaking, Democrats tend to have a more an inclination towards keeping people safe and protecting people from harm, and the idea that people could be oppressed is a form of harm, and so it would be natural that people who are inclined democratically would be also more inclined to perceiving oppressed and oppressor classes, because they don't want people to be oppressed and they don't want to be the oppressor. Whereas people who vote conservative or Republican tend to have less of an interest in the safety of the people and more of an interest in the freedom of the people. It's just a general overarching trend. It's not like every single person's like that. Doesn't describe everybody, but overall, that's what I've observed. So yeah, it's natural Democrats would be more inclined to wield identity politics. But why does identity politics exist? And what's the application of the ideas presented here? So this is not a history. Like there are no sources here. There's nothing presented to tell us this happened here on this date. This indicates this trend. It's a lot of this is true and here's how it happened, um, in very vague terms. This is kind of like a vent, really. I don't blame him for wanting to vent. Identity politics is very frustrating because it the way it's wielded is to silence people and to prevent discourse, which is traditionally something that progressives want. They want to talk through things, but this kind of trend has led to the shutting down of debate, the shutting down of discussion. If you're a white male like me, you don't get a say, and we'd rather hear from an oppressed minority, whoever that would be. I don't know. I mean, I think nobody perceives this as bad who is not worried about people being oppressed. But oppression is the question that has to be asked is, does oppression require intent? I don't think I'm going to think about this anymore. This is an interesting paper. Honestly, I was hoping for a little bit more from John in terms of substance. I was a bit excited about this because I really like I have enjoyed the No Agenda podcast in the past. When I had 4 hours a week to listen to it. But that was not that. It was a bit hand wavy in the points that it made. It didn't make the cases. It made very strong points, but it didn't sufficiently back up those points if it was aiming to be persuasive, in my opinion. Anyway, it's late. Let's go play some fucking Destiny. Okay. What do we have here? Moon wants me to do the memory quest. Tower wants me to do prophecy dungeon. I'm pretty sure the prophecy dungeon is 1040. Yeah, it's a bit above my ability level. Interesting. I can do nightmare hunts now. Head of Heresy. This is a dungeon that my buddy told me about. Garden of Salvation raid. What is Memory Quest? Is it something that I have? I don't think I do. I've not been enjoying doing this seasons of arrival quest line to like do a tour through all the content that's been closed out. It's just go do a weekly bounty at each planet, and now it's go and do a strike on each planet, and it's just like I don't want to go do fucking Savathûn's song again. I really don't. I might look up to see if there's any incentive for me to do so. Well, let's go open our engram. Because that's always exciting.
This bank will launder anything you deposit. Useful, ain't it?
All these holdfast greaves.
Moats are dark out there just waiting, brother. Go get some. I've got gambit arenas all over this system. Right under Shaxx and his Red Jacks' noses. It's pretty funny. Come closer. I don't bite, unless I'm hungry. Did you avenge your friend? You looking for a gunfight? Gambit could use you. Emissary of the Nine, huh? She can't fool me. Change all you want, sister. Once you have it, you never really leave the light behind. You got somewhere to be? How about Gambit? Did you kill Prince Udu? I don't really care, but everyone's asking. Gotta blend in.
They need a little bit of a cooldown between these voice lines. Seriously. I can do one more of these. Okay.
I can always use your expertise out on the frontier. Get me those moats.
Let's see. What is my wife asking me for? She wants more jelly beans. She's very excited about creating custom jelly bean mixes. Okay. Yes. Next time I'm there, I'll
You
grab
ready to ship
some,
out? There's enemies of humanity to shoot.
which should be tomorrow.
I left this system years ago. Went to the deep black with my crew. Wasn't many who made it back.
All right.
Moats are dark out
I like
there.
bows.
Just waiting, brother. Go
I
get
really
some.
like bows. Bows are so fun. Glimmer. Hard to care about Glimmer. I probably should, but I
So,
don't.
Did you do it? Kill the bastard?
Sidearm and hand cannon. I think I might pull a weapon out of my storage
I
to
mean, you alive, brother. Be careful.
play
Kill anything big lately?
with.
Be safe out there, brother.
I know a hunter who brings these in. They're not cheap. Come on over. You won't regret this. I just need something that'll work. I don't care if everything costs more ever since the tower fell. Gotta get this back online.
Sign here. Hi there. Received. All done. Three hours down to City for dead orbit. 3 hours up again. Not enough time.
Okay.
Hi
I need to get
again.
rid of some of these guns. And because I'm incapable of deciding these things on my own, that means going into Destiny Item Manager. So let's do that. Second.
Eververse isn't just a title, it's a family philosophy. Always another
Down to the
mile,
city and up again.
forever
Down
another
and up
tomorrow.
again. Oh dear.
Let's have a look.
Anything for you?
So, this Timeline's Vertex, this guy, the wishlist says it's pretty good. Has good perks. Let's run a deprecation check. So, okay. You can see from this that Apostate
Hi again.
is going to be power capped. It's not particularly strong, so this is something I'll want to definitely break down. And the Arcologic. I actually like the Arcologic, though. I'm going to keep that. Oh, why does it keep opening Discord? That's so annoying.
Switch the routes.
Okay, so we're getting rid of Apostate.
Sure. Rhythmic physical expressions
Please,
won't
Guardian.
win a fight,
It's
but they
busy.
feel good.
Rhythmic
Underway.
physical expressions, huh?
All
Okay,
done.
let's get away from merchants. Here we go. This will work.
Please step clear, Guardian.
Okay. So these will all scale into next season. Obviously, the Nox Cord is not something I care about, but oh, it's not my highest power level anymore. It means I can get rid of it. That's a huzzah.
For numerous sub-basement levels, only 4 have been cleaned and certified safe for use. We're with you, Titan.
Nothing to report here now. Somebody put an HH30 on. We're an HH30.
You want to listen to some music while we work?
Cool. I don't have any of these iClose SMGs yet.
Nice day.
I've got this.
Oh my word, these NPCs.
There are tasks to be completed.
Is there somewhere I can go where they're not going to hum and whisper in my ear the whole time?
Anything for you?
How about here? It seems quiet. Yeah, we'll chill right here. This main ingredient actually is a downvote. Epicurean stack with the best PvE perks on a fusion. Safer loaded question. All right, so we have 2 Icolo sniper rifles. Let's pick one. Quick draw, triple tap. Pendant mag, extended mag, small bore. Fluted barrel. Seems pretty synergistic. The hell is Seraph rounds? Huh, that's fun. This one sounds fun. I don't even know if it's good, but it sounds fun. So we're going to keep this one and kill the other one. Okay, so keep definitely not attach this one at all. So let's get rid. Iclose SMG. Let's play around with that maybe a little bit. Other sniper rifle, toss. Quick draw, triple tap. Switch and break, feeding frenzy. It might be better, but I don't care. And yeah, okay. I actually tried this one out and did not like it very much. Thought I would. Stats look good on it. So I think I'm going to get rid of it. That'll leave me with just 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, okay. So 4. Plenty of space. Need a better primary. Maybe I'll pull one out of storage. Honestly, having boring weapons in this game makes the game so unfun for me. I find the basic archetypes to be kind of boring. I kind of like this gun, this hand cannon. The lens is amazingly fun. None of these are particularly fun.
Ready?
All right. What can we pull out that we'll enjoy using? That's always sweet business, of course. Oh, I wanted a bow, right? I have Subtle Calamity. What else do I have for bows? Tyranny of Heaven.
Ah, that's bad.
Trinity, of course. The Monarch. So many guns to try, almost. It's kind of overwhelming. How many different weapons there are in this game.
If we shut that line off, the south elevator is in place.
I knew it!
Hard Light. That's a fun one. Maybe I'll pull Hard Light out and play around with it a little bit. I'm not in the mood for sweet business. Fighting Lion. Gotta love the Fighting Lion.
Why didn't the hunters see the Red Legion coming? Isn't that what they're there for?
What about a power weapon that I like?
Kids everywhere in this new tower. Guess a lot of them lost their parents.
I guess it's official.
How about the... Yeah, these blast furnaces I have. One of them is really good, I think. Is it the Outlaw Headseeker or Quick Draw Rampage? What else? I'm pretty sure I have a Ringing Nail that's very good as well. This thing is fun. Yeah, let's pull this out. Let's pull this out. A Ringing Nail. This will give us some. Now let's pull out a primary and a power, perhaps.
Ah, that's bad.
The world's changing, Guardian. You must prepare and adapt.
Heard you put on quite a show. Don't stop fighting. We all appreciate it.
I don't have time to watch the news anymore, with the fleet and everything. War is a constant. The only thing you can do is
Lost
be
count of how many seasons have passed.
Do you ever think maybe we'd be better off if the Traveler had never come?
Heard you put on quite a show. I won't forget everyone we lost.
Good luck out
I
there.
won't.
Are all the guns I'm excited about energy weapons.
Another Golden Age blueprint focused to planetary orbital
I have no idea what this does.
Lakshmi 2 doesn't answer to the Vanguard.
Not now.
No, yeah, that's right.
It's some kind of
Whoever
machine.
designed the
Must have
wiring
been
here
left
must have been
over
a
since the
criminal.
last time Guardians used this tower.
I'm gonna have to infuse these up to be usable, but we'll just keep them in there for now.
Bad noise. Hi again.
Oh, I get a new helm from the moon. Let's go do that. I find the moon content to be more enjoyable.
Guardians are always welcome.
All this year one stuff I've been
Hi.
forced into. Memory quest.
What do you think this machine does?
Let's check in with Goth Mame. What shader is this? The lectern of enchantment rumbles with energy and provides you with gear to fight against the nightmares and the pyramid. Let's see which is better. This one has one more point. Let's see. It's up in strength, mobility, and resilience. This is up in mobility, resilience, and intellect. So strength or intellect. Melee. I mean, be identical. Let's have a look. So the Dreambane mods that I have are just use the leapfrog. Could use a new chest, legs. Chest and legs are the most outdated, I guess. Actually, chest and legs and shoulders. Fallen. Apparently, I have this one already.
Let us begin.
Sinister transmissions seep out from our unknown artifact. Their intentions are anything but pure. Place your eyes upon them only if you seek to find truths among the lies. Press accept to receive a mysterious transmission. That's it.
May it prepare you. It is yours.
Wow,
Take
I have
it.
a lot of bounty space. Oh, lovely. Hang on a second.
Another vision. Go and burn the darkness from that grave. That is not Shimoda. I will not give in to the pyramid's tricks.
They are all incessant, no matter the length to which I ignore.
here.
I am a machine, but I am very glad to have survived.
No one else can do what must be done. They took my light. I took their eyes. In the end, I spent more years with the Hive than with the Guardian I fought beside.
Oh, is this the memory quest? Wonder if this is it. Let's look this up real quick. Destiny Moon memory quest. Yeah. Okay. That looks accurate. So I gotta find the lost sectors. Here's one. Let's just go for it.
Where did it go? Not a prime. Deadly.